Welcome. Another episode of Game Notes. This is going to be our Frozen Four preview. We just locked in the Coach of the Year in NCHC, the Coach of the Year by College Hockey News. I think he's the finalist for the official Penrose Coach of the Year, Pat Ferschweiler. I'm going to let Army announce that when he comes on because I am the worst pronunciations. And you are the Western guy. You are the Western Michigan Broncos fan club.
Western
so you're going to be in charge of that. But
okay,
first,
I'll do it. I wanted you to do it, though. I like when you mess up the names. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but this guy, he deserves it to be correctly
He
done,
does.
and I'm horrible at it. But this episode is brought to you by Body Armor Flash IV. Body Armor Flash IV is packed with electrolytes and provides faster and longer-lasting hydration with no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or dyes. With great tasting flavors like strawberry kiwi and tropical punch, Body Armor Flash IV gives your body the rehydration it needs to recover. I picked up two myself right here.
Yeah, you did.
Boom,
I
boom,
love
boom.
that one there. I love that one right there. That's the one I pound.
This one?
Yep, that's the one. I pound that. And you know what? I need it after Nationals, Cruises Nationals, like drinking in the parking lot. G's got it too. He knows what it's like. Couple cocktails in the parking lot. I don't know if that's legal or illegal. I don't know. Hockey dad style, stress, hockey dad style, crazy hockey dad style. You got to come back after a youth hockey trip, dad style, and just get the Flash IVs going, Merles. No question.
Yeah, get yours today at a local 7-Eleven or Amazon today. Arm Dog, when I was coaching, it was the COVID year, the youth hockey, but all the boys, all the dads, they had the pickup trucks with the coolers in the back.
Yep, they all got it.
Out, win or lose. We had a lot of 7 a.m. games. That did not stop the boys. We would come out, win or lose, hit the booze. They'd throw me a can of beer, even though we had another game in a couple hours. And Merles, you're a better coach after a couple cold ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. And the parking lots here, we were in Detroit and Plymouth that's where our age group was at. We were there last year as well. So I think next year you move up in age. I don't know where they will be after that, but yeah, I mean, the parking lots are full, but yeah, you go out, some of these dads are intricate with their setups and the coolers and like what they have going on in there. And they've got extra cups for other dads too. And it's just, it's insane what they do. And it's a grind, like you said, day in and day out. Even in the morning, like I wheel out there, it was pouring rain, it was cold and windy, and they're still out there going. So, got to hand it to the dads. It's a grind. They're grinding every day, every weekend, watching their kids, follow them around. Merles, I saw some videos of you back in those COVID days coaching too with the boys and doing some track races with them, and you were involved heavily in there.
Yeah, I actually got tossed out of one game. It was against the Pittsburgh Junior Penguins. So. Small world there.
What'd you do?
They were beating up on our best player, and he wouldn't give them penalties, and we were getting killed anyway. He's like, you say one more word to me, you're out of here. I said, you're an idiot. And then I just opened the door and I did the walk of shame. There was no exit on the bench. It was one of those ones where you got to walk across the ice. So I got to do the slow walk of shame across the ice.
Oh, it's the worst, buddy. Oh, yeah, that is a walk of shame. No bigger walk of shame than when Corey Perry got booted out of that outdoor game, and he had the biggest walk of shame walking back all the way. I don't know. I forget what stadium it was in, but holy Christ, that was hilarious. But yeah, Merles, that's what I was doing. I was at Nationals with Cruz. Home now, obviously, so didn't go too well. It's still going on. Actually, it went well. It was weird. Like Cruz's team, Mount St. They had the hardest like bracket to get out of, Merles. Like for whatever reason, they got put in this bracket as one of the higher ranked teams, and they had like BK Selects in there, Bishop Kearney, really good hockey program as well. They're a good team. And then we had this Dallas Stars team in there. They're really good too, coached really well, very structured, good goaltender. And we played Dallas first game. They beat us. We weren't ready to go. Credit to Dallas. They played real well. Then we beat BK. Great game. That was we always have pretty good games against them. The ones that I've been in the house for, awesome. Went to overtime, massive win, and then played this California team after. And because of the setup, the way it went, we were playing yesterday at this California team. We had to win. We won. And then the stagger a little bit on the other rink at the same barn was the BK team versus the Texas team. And we needed Texas because the way the point system was going, we needed Texas to beat BK and we would have got in because of the point setup. So I pop over there. It's 3-3 with like 8 minutes to go. So it's like halfway through the third period. I'm like, okay, we got a shot here. This is going to be cool if we can get through. We needed help. I walk in. I'm standing there for 2 seconds. Bing, BK scores. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. Still lots of time left. Drop the puck, come down. Kid shoots it from like the blue line. Ping, posted in. Boom, 2-goal lead. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. Pack up the car. Pack it up. We're going. And then it was right to the wire. We stayed to watch. Cruz and his team were down on the glass, still full gear, watching to see what their fate was, if their season was over or not. It's kind of sad. But this Dallas team kind of battled back, youth hockey. They're like in a prevent. They're trying not to get scored on. And then bing, Dallas scores a couple quick ones. And then they put it away with an empty netter to sink us. So we packed up the hotel, packed up the car, came home. I got a little stress zit on my forehead. I got a little zit. I woke up this morning with a bad stress zit. Might have been from a couple cocktails, eating out of a dumpster over the week. You know how it is, Merles. But
I think it was the parking lot more than the stress of the game. So that's weird. So what do? There's 4 divisions and only one team comes out of each division,
I think
or something?
two in each one kind of push through. So Dallas and the BK team got through.
Okay.
Unfortunately, just because of the point setup. So we got hosed out of there. And then it's your usual suspects, the big boys that are all through, the Kessler team with Caesars, the Shattuck St. Mary's, the Minutemen.
Buffalo Junior Sabres, maybe?
No, they weren't there. No. Just your Rochester Bishop Kearney team.
Is that the only New York team you can think of?
I can think. Yep, that's the only one I think that's there. Yeah. So
So they must
disappointing.
Just have state, and then one team must go from New York. I thought maybe we'd get 2 since we're so sick at hockey here, but I guess not.
Yeah, I guess it's fading. I guess it's bad coaching. Maybe, I don't know, Merles. Maybe throw your hat in the ring. I'm getting you to throw your hat in a lot of rings, but
my hat was not in the ring. We're gonna get to that. We'll get to that later for riding the bus.
But I just want to say, an amazing season. It was so cool. Like 14-year-old kids. It's getting a little more serious, right? It was awesome to like watch and be a part of and be there for this big tournament. All the dads come in and everything, and parents and families. My parents flew in. So the cool thing that we lost out, the one silver lining is, Merles, my mom and dad drove back from Detroit because they were there till they had their flight booked home on Monday for the whole weekend of tournament, So we're out. So pile up in the car, mom and dad back to Pittsburgh. And Mel's mom and dad were driving from Wilkes to come out for the weekend games. And they stopped at our house just to see what was going to happen. And sure enough, they stayed here, got home last night, nice home-cooked meal. Mel's mom had it ready to go. Got my parents in the house for the weekend, trying to switch flights and everything now. But turns out a little silver lining in it all. But good season. It was fun year, good experience. And Cruz got a week at home before he's got to go back to school and finish up and get lacrosse season cracking off. I know G's big lacrosse guy, but that was my week this week, buddy.
Yeah, it's great. Good job, Cruz. We love following along. I know the chat would love following along. We can't wait to see what happens next year with those guys. They're a year older, a year better, but hit the books. Hit the books, Cruz. I can't get you into RPI if you don't have the grades up. All right. So speaking of college hockey, let's get our college hockey expert, Grinnell, in here. See what's going on in his world and Chicklet's world.
How we doing, boys? Gearing up for a huge weekend in St. Louis with the boys next weekend. The Frozen Four is here. I'm very, very excited. We'll have boots on the ground. Game Notes live show on Friday from St. Louis. Party on Saturday. What's better than that? Very excited to talk to Coach Pat today, too. Not even going to try the last name. He's just Coach Pat right now. But late last night, I was, so I've been with the boys for the past couple days. Last night, Biz and Wit did Amazon, was in Secaucus till like 1 a.m. with those guys. They put on a hell of a show. But right before that, I'm in Atlanta for the Sandbagger with all the boys. And boy, did they not let me forget the fact that the college hockey experts, the Game Notes guys, me and Murr didn't get a single pick right in our Frozen Four picks. And Army, you son of a bitch, we told you to take WMU. We told you. We said throw that in there. So that ain't your pick either.
Yeah.
So we all got them all wrong.
You don't think I know what I'm doing, boys? You don't think I'm ready? You don't think I'm prepared? By the way, they were ripping us on Chicklets also too. Not only to you in person on that trip, but on Chicklets they ripped us for that too, for our picks. Penn State ripped us, googly eyes looking at our picks. A lot of schools are ripping us right now for our picks. Do you see what I said back to Penn State and even Benny Boma, our guy, Penn State guy? I said, sometimes you got to make club hockey style predictions before you're good enough to make Frozen Four style predictions.
It's tough love. We were just giving them a little tough love. We love Penn State. Everyone
Bulletin
knows
board
we
material.
love Penn State. Yeah, we wanted to give them a little bulletin board material for the future here.
I just didn't understand. I didn't know how important home ice advantage was in March. So I'm sorry, NCAA committee, complete disgrace on that. You give the number 1 seed the closer game. Like BC gets to play close to home. The number 4 team seed that barely got in the tournament doesn't get have the home game. So that was just ridiculous. And then my bad on Denver. I was at the Denver celebration last year. I have the sweatshirt.
What were we thinking?
They don't lose. They're going to win the whole thing probably. They don't lose, but hopefully Coach Pack can talk us into Western. But
you know what it is, though? It's these fucking NCAA setup, the leagues, the rankings, the confusion. You get hypnotized by all these bullshit teams that don't matter when it really matters. And it's always, and the last 2 years, I've been kind of paying attention to college hockey in a loose kind of way because, I'm a Western guy, WHL guy to the core. But it's like these rankings and these fandangled TikTok hockey players that we see that are very good players, don't get me wrong, but we get hypnotized with the media and the mainstream media pushing these guys on us and the social media. And it's like, it doesn't work out.
I think that's me. I think I'm the mainstream media.
Chicklet's you. Chicklet's you. It's in our kids.
You. Yeah, that's what I've had written down. The Chicklet's you mush. Penn State saved you.
Penn State saved me, boys. I think Chicklet, you might have got canceled if Penn State didn't get in. But I will say this. I don't know if the players feel the same way as the social media admins, because I did get a DM, and I will not say the team because I don't want to jinx them.
I like this.
One team reached out to me, and they said, if we win the national championship, you come celebrate with us. You owe us. You come to the celebration. I said, deal. So I'm not going to disclose what team that is, but if they win the national championship, I will go party with them, and I will tell you the team then. But fuck.
And just so you know, like all the social media admins out there and all the other teams, these other teams that are in this Frozen Four, we will also party with any team that wins.
100%.
How about that?
100%. I think we saw that in 2019 when I partied with the Blues after they beat the Bruins. You got a table? You got a table? I'm there. I'm on it.
That is unreal. That's so true. I love that, Merles. We're in, Merles.
Yeah, I mean, so if we're so bad, then just fade us. We give you the picks. It's easy. You should have faded us. You should be sending us money, but keep putting out your horrible picks, and I'm making money on it. They should be happy about that.
When I got some good. I did the Arm Dog TV media guy research method. When we get to the college,
so you
stuff,
texted Jazz.
No. I got my own little preview of how I think it's going to play out because I'm on to the college. I'm on to NCAA hockey. I know how this shit works now. I understand the smoke and mirrors of the whole thing and who's actually good and what teams are going to win. I'm not going to be fooled again by the bullshit.
No.
Well, Merles, we've been saying this now. I feel like you and I have been beating this drum for years where it's like the teams with the top end talent don't do well in the tournament. And we say it every year.
And then we pick
our picks.
This is the year. I don't know why I fell for it. It's my thing. They don't win. The coaching, the culture, and the old guys, the old balls. We call them old balls, always win.
The 24-year-olds are going to beat the 18 and 19-year-olds any day of the week.
Well, we had to ride Maine, right? We were Maine. I was all Maine. That's all I focused on. So I was just thinking they're going to dummy get these little kid teams up there, the TikTok teams, so Maine can roll through them. But I was awful.
Well, Chicklets U is going to Maine next year. So if they didn't get it this year, the Chicklets U curse may be coming for them.
Stay tuned, maniacs.
Stay tuned. And you're coming to RPI next year as well. I already have that set up. I did a walkthrough on what day was I over there? I can't remember the days. I'm jet lagged like crazy. I was over there Wednesday. I did a walk through all the facilities, top-notch stuff. I'm here to report. We are at the finish line on a new head coach. We do not have it named yet. We have not. It's at the finish line. That's all I can give you.
Hint? Can you give us a hint?
Look forward to a press conference on Monday or Tuesday to make it official. But
what has this process been like, Merles? What has this process been like? how involved is the alumni with your athletic director and the whole process? Like, and an interview process, have
Have you done any interviews, Merles?
No interviews for me. I just went over, watched some like they're practicing over there. The kids that are still here did that. Met with a couple of the kids, couple of the assistant coaches that's still around, and the AD, and just kind of showing that I'm going to be back around and here to support the team, and we're going to do whatever we can. We got to get us up off the floor and back to the top of the ECAC. So just small things like that, just showing support, showing we're going to get it going again, because I've been away. I've been out playing, or I've been living in Sweden. I've been able to help out. So
once if it's Eric Lang.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I know he was here on campus. I will say that. He was here on campus. There was a bunch of
once. That was so...
there was a bunch of guys on campus doing interviews. I can give you that much.
Oh my God, that was so good. Merle, so they're not.
What was I going to say? Oh, I found out something. Yeah, I found out something really interesting, G. I didn't know if you know this either. So this transfer portal, which is crazy, which nobody knows, like it's just insanity, like it's nuts. So I always like, oh, why don't we just get that kid? Why can't you get that kid? Why can't you get that kid? So not every school will take, say, juniors and seniors. So say like maybe the Ivy Leagues, like schools like RPI, we will only take freshmen or sophomores, because you need to have 60% of your classes to get the degree. Because you can't just be handing out these Harvard, like you can't hand out a Harvard degree when a guy went to, where did Davenport College that Biz went to, and then play 1 year at Harvard, and then he gets to graduate with a Harvard degree.
Bullshit. If he's out there blocking shots with the Harvard name across his chest, he's laying his body on the line for the university, they can give him a fucking degree. Are you kidding me? This is nerd shit right here. He did the work.
I think there's a lot more schools than we think of. So that's why you don't see a lot of these kids, like older kids, going other places. They got to do
that
it
is
when
interesting
they're really young.
though.
Yeah,
RPI, you guys are getting kind of bent in the portal this year. I looked in the portal. You had like 4 or 5 names in there already.
Yeah, we had a few guys go in there. We had a few.
But
guys.
You get so you're saying like
we're only keeping the good ones, G. You know,
but
you don't want
what you do.
Then you go, you get out of here. We're gonna turn this thing around.
You got to get guys that are. You're not getting guys that are like, and this is whatever you want to say about education, whatever. You're not getting guys with that style of recruiting. You're getting guys that are serious about their schooling, not serious about the hockey. So yes, it is serious, but you're getting guys primarily that you want to get in there because they have to start from the start and finish to the finish, and you retain your guys and they want to get that degree, right?
Yeah, that's
so
what
then
you're
not gonna get like the Leonard that leaves school early kind of guy, right?
Yeah, RPI doesn't usually get that. I'm the high. Here's a little fact for you, Army. A little known fact for you.
He shows up with a calculator in his pocket, like ready to serve.
Do you know
first line right winger?
The highest drafted player in the history of RPI hockey is
Adam Oates.
Nope.
Merles.
You?
Me? Yes. 50.
That was a trick question. Come on.
So yeah, we don't ever get the TikTok top guys, but we got the right guys. We're going to get the right guys. We're going to win. All right.
All right. I mean, if you're not in on the interviews though, that's kind of bullshit. Like who's conducting these interviews, Merles? Why aren't you more involved? When I said throw your hat in the ring, it actually pisses me off that you're like, no, I can't. Like I'm busy going to the ATM and like fucking doing this and doing that. Like you got like really like besides like family dad stuff, like let's fucking get in there.
North Dakota just announced with Dane Jackson. They just hired the new coach, Dane Jackson, and they're hiring a GM.
Yeah, I saw that. You retweeted that, right? You retweeted that. Yeah.
Merle, any GM talks? Is there any GM talks with the...
We'll get to the future of RPI hockey on next week's episode. But Dane Jackson, let me give you a little story on Dane Jackson. Remember that story I told you when I was in Pittsburgh, had shoulder surgery, and I jumped on the bus to go to the U-Haul?
Yeah.
Dane Jackson was the head coach of that team.
No way.
Yeah, he coached 1 year for Adirondack Frostbite, and then he left for college, and then he's been at North Dakota as an assistant ever since. But he was the coach there.
What do you think of that hire in North Dakota? Because off the first glance, it was kind of like North Dakota alumni apparently love this hire. Everyone seems to speak really highly of this guy. But it's not that much of a change from Brad Berry, is it? Like,
yeah, I don't understand it either. I feel like that
Is it 'cause he
Barry
was
was
too
all
old?
about North Dakota, the same he is. And I guess, I don't know the whole story, but just something new, or they got to do something just because they missed 2 tournaments. That's great.
I think it was one of those things where they fired Barry to appease the fans, but they're keeping Jackson so they don't get completely bent in the portal. Because I mean, Boisvert going to BU, Perron sounds like he's going to Michigan, so they are getting bent right now.
Yeah, it's brutal. Yeah, some big time players. That boy there was I talked to some scouts when we were in Vegas for the draft. They were trying to get their teams to take him real high in the first round. I forget where he ended up going.
Chicago, right?
Chicago?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so that's a real stud right there.
I think you have to have, and Merles, you'd be perfect for this as the manager guy. Do some recruiting shit too. Hang out with the boys. Like, you know, it has to be a little bit of like, you need like what kind of guy? Like to hypnotize these kids to come so they don't leave. You have to have like a magician with white gloves on that shows up and is like, oh, look at this, look what we do, this is how we do. Hey, come on down, come on,
I take them on a week-long bender during the time the portal is, and they come back from it like, oh fuck, I forgot to enter the portal.
I think there's one thing you can do here, and that's go after the U Sports guys, the guys that have played 3 years in the CHL. They just did 4 years at the University of New Brunswick.
Hey,
they're
don't tell
27 years old. They're 26, 27. Get those guys in there.
Yeah. Don't tell everybody. Don't tell everybody the secrets.
Oh yeah.
Like great college hockey talk here. We're already in the preview. We're going to have Coach Pat on soon. We should ask him how the portal works out there at Western Michigan, and if it's any different, because look how busy they are right now. It's crazy. It goes on during this. These guys are trying to win a championship.
Western Michigan just nailed 3 big transfers.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
What's the coach of Michigan State? What's his name? Nightingale? Coach Nightingale? I saw he was at the game at Cruz's game the other day. I was hanging out with him, chatting with him. So he's he's coming in to hang out and check out some games and see some people. There's probably like a bunch of people.
Bet your ass I put Cruz Armstrong's name in his ear when I was at Michigan State.
Oh, you don't think I took him over, Cruz, after the game? You want to say hi to Coach Nightingale of Michigan State? Yeah,
he's awesome. He's
like such a nice,
genius.
Great guy, really nice guy, fantastic. Got time for everyone. Really cool. As you get a little older now, the energy's starting to pick up around like certain weekends in youth hockey, you know? So it's like kind of exciting when you see some of these characters kicking around, and how many Western League scouts now with the new rules, of course, and the US draft and what the CHL is going to do as far as like American kids and stuff. But there was a ton of like CHL scouts at these Western League scouts too. I noticed, especially some Western guy.
Is your dad still a Western League scout?
Oh yeah, he had a list of guys he had to go check out that were eligible, and you know how it is, they're scattered all through. So there's like, you know, kids from Alaska on Shattuck. There's a kid from Alaska on this team, and you know, they're scattered all over the place. Texas falls into their wheelhouse as well. So that Texas team, there's some kids, and he's got like all these guys are all on kind of the same kids, you know, but they're going to check them out and watch them because they're in their wheelhouse of where they can. And even though we're out east here and we're in Michigan, you know, like I said, youth hockey is the portal. It's the Wild West of hockey. Kids can go play at all these prep school programs and these crazy programs. So you gotta travel to make it work. And there was lots of guys there. It was cool to see. It was awesome catching up with some old scouts that used to scout me and stuff that were kicking around still. There's some new young faces in the game, obviously, but hockey, what a world hockey is.
Yeah, that was part of when I did my coaching. I was so excited to get to those big tournaments in Toronto where there's 40 teams. I'm going to know this coach. I'm going to know this scout. But it ended up being the COVID year. I didn't get to see anybody. You had to dress in separate like cities and then play in a different city to play the game. It was insanity.
Merles is just cranking beers, listening to Thunderstruck in the parking lot with 10, 15-year-olds in his fucking trunk.
Oh, we had a time. Yeah, so I don't know if we want to move over and start our Frozen Four preview, or do we want to do the Western League quickly before we get to the coach? What are we thinking here?
I'll do whatever. Is Pasha there? What's Pasha?
Yeah, should we say hi to Posh quick?
Pasha, is he here?
What's
Pasha
up,
back there?
boys?
I thought he just quit on the season because his Devils are so bad, but he's here. How you doing, Pasha?
Hey, we're making the playoff, Merles. Don't write us off. G. If anyone's quitting, it's G with his last place Bruins.
Oh my God.
Hey, why I'm asking you if your dad's still a scout, Army. I was on tankathon.com last night. I've been doing mock drafts left and right. There's some WHL guys that could fall to the Bruins. I almost gave you a call last night to get the breakdown on this Roger McQueen, but that's a story for a different day.
Oh, yeah.
Dasky
I got
kid.
a little breakdown of him. Yeah, Saskatoon kid. Played hockey with his dad.
Mhm.
But this kid's a stud. He'd be like, I mean, he's had some injury issues.
Back injuries, though.
But he's a monster. He's huge. He can play. Like, he's an awesome player.
Who needs a rebuild when you have Pavel Zacha?
I think the Bruins are going to get top 3 by the time this thing is done.
I do too.
There's no, I don't see how they're ever winning a game again.
No,
they're like us.
please.
They're like the Penguins back in 03, 04.
Gee, should we announce the news from the other night?
Oh yeah, Pasha won the bet. Pasha beat me in our $2,000 bet that he predatorily bet me when I was blacked out drunk fucking 5 years ago in a Vancouver bar at 2 a.m. He got me. So I owe him $2,000. I'm gonna give him $1 a day for 2,000 days.
That
What was
money's
that?
going straight to Wit.
Who would have more points this season, Devils or Bruins?
We made it 3 years ago. More regular season points.
Yeah,
so.
Pasha, that's one thing I found. I made one bet with you. I lost, but you never forget.
Oh, no. I have a little thing on my phone. I write down all my bets.
And he sends you like a Venmo like request. That's
It's not even his friends though, guys. Like random people will come up to him. He'll make bets with these kids, and then he's like, I gotta track down this kid from Chicklet's Cup 2 years ago. He bet me the Chicago Blackhawks wouldn't make the playoffs. I'm like, how do you remember this?
I saw a sucker at Chicklet's Cup make a bet with you too. I saw it like with my own eyes. I'm like, this kid has
guy.
Tell him
the best. Mike West, same guy 2 years in a row. We bet $1,000. Do the Hawks make the playoffs? I gave him 4-1 odds, so that's cash 2 years in a row. Obviously,
this kid. I keep bringing him back. He gets free entry for Chicklet's Cup. Just bring him in. Bring him in for Pasha. How was that? Were you there? Were you on site for that golf thing?
Yeah, we did the Sandbagger with foreplay. It was a long time coming, and it was awesome. Bit of a different format. We did 3 9-hole videos. Long day for everyone involved, and shout out Wit Dog. He played his flu game. As you guys know, you listen to Chicklets. He was on his deathbed the night before, so he rallied for that. And I think it's gonna produce a lot of fun content. A little different twist. But yeah, really, it went really well.
I got a bone to pick actually with the Chicklets boys too, because I heard on the podcast and in talking, and Jans is like, Army said he could get us on Atlanta Golf and Country Club for this thing because the course wasn't as good and there was some big things. This is on Monday morning, and I'm like, okay, like I'll do my best. I got a buddy that's a member at this course. We'll line it up. Emails were sent back and forth. They're doing this on Tuesday, so it's not like I could get him on. I had a hook up to a guy that could potentially get him on. Jans kind of threw me under the bus with Army, said he could hook us up, but it fell through. But that course is sick. If they could have gone on there,
it all worked out though. It all worked out.
That's good. That's good. Suck it, Jans. Suck it.
I'll say this: someone got very, very drunk in the video.
Shocker. That's a first, eh?
It'll be good. Very drunk.
Yeah, impressive by Wit. The flu game. More impressive from Chicklets is that they had St. Louis Blues GM on there, former St. Louis Blues Shattenkirk, been blowing up the St. Louis Blues, and they still won last night. They almost blew it, but they still won. So the Chicklets mush didn't happen to them. It's pretty impressive. One thing from the chat to keep it on the college hockey. He said you can't transfer more. Andrew Glazen saying you can't transfer more than 60 credits to Michigan. So that's the same type of thing like I'm talking about. So I think there's more things like that we're not aware of. That I was totally shocked by, and it does make sense.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
What's this? You are just skipping over Granelli blowing his load over Montgomery getting canned. What does he mean by this? What's he mean by this?
I feel like it's like, first off,
it's working out though.
I was never rooting for Jim Montgomery to get canned. Let's say that. I said what I had heard through the grapevine, which was that Joe Sacco was promised the job if Jim Montgomery was fired. Was I right or was I right? But Jim Montgomery. This is Merles. Do you remember at the beginning of the year? And thank God I didn't make this bet, but we we're very, very close to making a bet. I said that the Blues would be a lottery team, and you were like, no, I'll take that bet. And we never went through with it. But thank God I didn't make that.
Pasha, check your notes. Did we make the bet? Did I make the bet with him? I'm mad at myself. I didn't bet the Blues to make the playoffs. I think Singsy was trying to say bet him for Jack Adams way back then. And I remember looking it up. It was 30-1. But I actually have these stats written down for later in the episode, but I'll use them now. Bruins, I might be off by 1 or 2. Bruins are 22-34 since they got rid of Monty. The Blues are 34-22 since they got Monty. So,
and 10 of those for Boston of late. Like, I mean, fuck, that has been an epic, just an epic tank job. Like maybe one of the
but
greatest.
If you're gonna tank, you gotta tank. Like this is what this. I'm happy with this. Like this is actually going as planned. Like I'm okay with this. We get James Higgins out of this, I'm fucking laughing.
Yeah, it's complete opposite what the Sabres are doing, but we'll get to that later on. We got to stick with the college. We got to stick with the Frozen 4 preview, and we got him. We got this guy late. I can't believe we got him. Arm Dog, you're the Western guy. You do the intro.
Patty Ferschweiler, first of all, welcome to the show. Game notes, appreciate you taking the time, moving some things around for us. Head coach, spent a little stint in the NHL as well, but he's a Western guy. He's a full-blown Western Michigan guy to the death. Merles, you were talking about it, and he's got his team making a little school history here on their way. And I mean, I picked you guys, Patty. I just want to let you know, the old Arm Dog, the only guy that got anything right out of all these dopes on this show. So you're welcome.
Well, I mean, I'm a fan, so I watch the show. I know you've given us belief. Shame on the rest of you guys. And never doubt Jim Montgomery, ever. Always bet on Jim Montgomery. Good friend of mine, great coach, as good as there is in the NHL for sure.
Yeah, Monty's the man. I met him when I played against him in pro, and then when he started coaching here at RPI as an assistant, when I was playing here in Albany, I became great friends with him, and I knew the second I met him how smart of a coach he was, and he was just built for coaching. And did you always know that? Did you always know you were going to be a coach your whole career?
I didn't really, honestly. I came to Western. I played 8 years pro, mainly in the minors, usually in the old IHL. But I have a finance degree. I kind of summered my last 3 years of pro. You know, when you can kind of feel it's the end is coming, boys. You know, and so I summered at Merrill Lynch and thought I was going to be a financial advisor. And what those 3 years taught me was I didn't want to be a financial advisor. You know, I liked it. It's a great profession for lots of people. But I wanted to do what I loved, and I loved hockey.
Yeah, living the dream right now, and third year as head coach. What's the biggest transition for you been? Like, because you've been assistant coach at this level, assistant coach NHL level as well, and now the last 3 years here, this is your third, taking over as head coach. What's that been like for you? Not only just coaching, but then taking over the helm and the beast in the crazy environment that college hockey is right now as well. Like, I mean, how big of a learning curve has that been? The whole picture of what it is.
Well, it's been an interesting ride, honestly. Like I started out coaching in Kansas City. I started my own program there. So I had to come and be here under Jeff Blashill to learn how to be an assistant the first time. And then several years as an assistant, it only made me better, obviously going to the National Hockey League. And I know that I learned as much from those players as they ever learned from me. And I love my time there at the National Hockey League. But I love coming back to college because you can get your hands on these guys. You get practice time. You can see them change as players. You can see them change and mature as young men. This is my sweet spot of coaching. So excited to be here. But I felt like I was fully ready after being under Andy Murray, after being under Jeff Blashill, after having run my old program, ready to take this thing over. And we had a plan for sure. And the plan seems to be working.
Army mentioned the learning curve. And I think the first thing that stands out in my head is NIL and the transfer portal. So, I'm, scrolling Twitter the past couple of days, and I see that you guys are active right now in the transfer portal, and people are already committing to WMU. And so what has this whole transfer portal, experience been like for you? And how are you managing it right now, with the transfer portal opening last week and you guys still playing hockey right now?
Yeah, it's an interesting time in college sports as the world has changed, and sometimes the rules are changing before you can almost adapt to them. And what you have to do is lean into them. You have to say, this is how things work now. You can't fight them. The transfer portal has been good to us. As we love to score. And Denver and us are the two leading scoring teams in the country, and we score every single year. I think players are excited about scoring. Now, we also give up the 5th least goals in the country, but we hide that within our talk of attacking and pressure and everything else. We relate everything we can to goal scoring. So I think that attracts players. They want to know that they're on their toes and we're trying to score, and that's the way I talk. We talk about defending with the puck, and that excites young guys. I think it helps us be successful in the portal, and certainly our coaches have adapted. Now, we might be the last team ever that can say this, guys. We made the Frozen Four, and we're certainly happy and proud of what we've done. We're not satisfied yet. We know we have 2 hockey games hopefully left in St. Louis, but we've never paid $1 of NIL on our team, and frankly, we haven't even paid All-Star money on our team. We're doing this because kids love coming to Western Michigan. They love playing here. They know they're going to develop. We have some of those monies going forward. So I don't even think I'll say that about our program even next year. But so far to this point, kids have come here because they know they can develop, and they love being a Bronco.
Well, wait till Cruz Armstrong is on the horizon. I mean, that might change. He's coming up. He's 14, and Dad drives a hard bargain, right, boys? Especially with Grinelli as well.
Oh yeah,
he's my advisor, Grinelli. So stay tuned.
Send us the number. We'll see if we can do it.
But that's what I've always said. It's coaching, the culture, and the commitment that wins in March. And I kind of got lost on it this year in my picks. I did some horrible picks. I lost track of it. What wins in March in these one and done scenarios? The one guy I have as my X factor going in for you guys is Hampton Slukniski. I am the worst.
Slukinski. It's a hard one. Yeah, I'm Ferschweiler, so I got this. Slukinski.
But he's awesome. Freshman goalie. He's 4th round from the Kings. He only played, 23 games, so you haven't worn him down. How did you get him to come to Kalamazoo? Is it partly because of the brother?
What they were both committed to Northern Michigan, and Northern Michigan's coach left late in the summer. So both guys became available. Grant had already played 1 season there, at 9 point, nice freshman year, 6 goals. And then Hampton was entering. So they both become late, available late in August. School starts in August. And so several teams were all over Hampton as a superstar, proven young goaltender, player of the year or goalie of the year in the USHL, a proven winner, world junior type goaltender. And, but we needed a center as well. And I think the ability to recognize how good Grant was, his older brother. He's a real hockey player. He had 9-point freshman year, but I watched this kid play in high school. He's an over 100-point high school player for War Road, Minnesota, Hockey Factory. World-class young men, both of them. Honestly, they're almost make believe on how great of people they are, and we couldn't be more proud or happy to have them in the organization. But as we talked, and we had spots for both of them, it worked out. They came here. Grant's is a 30-plus point guy now for us. Again, partly style, but partly because our recognition and pushing him forward to go attack. But we knew Hampton was a star. Guys, when you describe goalies, the best word I can ever have on a goalie is he's calm. And this kid is calm. I mean, there is no moment too big for him. Nothing seems to rattle him. He's in the moment at all times. His preparation is crazy good, especially for a young man. He's dedicated to his craft, and he's a real hockey player, no doubt.
Merle's mentioned the X factor, and I would say that my X factor is the Lawson Lunatics. And for those who out there who don't know, this has been dubbed as one of the craziest fan sections in all of college hockey. So my 2 questions for you is, 1, what makes them so special? And 2, how do you expect them to travel to St. Louis?
Well, we're trying to bring as many as we can down. We have a world-class athletic director that's offered to pay for the student tickets, and you guys know those tickets are not cheap.
That's awesome.
Now, I think there's a limited number. He's generous. He's not crazy, but the Lunatics at home, our environment is crazy. We play in an older building. It's got a low ceiling. It's real loud in there. And there's 2,000 students a night supporting these guys. And they have their own website. They're organized. They got their own gear.
It's crazy.
These guys, they've earned the name Lunatics. It's spectacular. And, in 2 years, we're building a brand new arena right now, $515 million totally. One guy's paying for it. Wow. It's going to be state of the art. The best they come, in college hockey, are as good as any in college hockey. We couldn't be more excited. But we love this building. We fashioned the new one a little bit like it, a lower ceiling, but with all the modern amenities. So the future here for Western is exciting and bright.
Oh,
Walk
Chicklet's
us through
you.
that. Yeah,
Chicklet's
walk us
you.
through the process of building this new arena, because we're seeing it now. So many of these big schools are prioritizing, even the smaller schools, they're prioritizing the facilities. How involved are you in this process? What is this new facility going to look like?
We're living on Fantasy Island right now. It's one guy, he just came in, he said, Coach, I want you to think big. And I was like, hey, I'm your guy, because I still think like a player, right? And the first thing he does is he puts us on his 2 jets. He flies us and the architects around, sees all the best buildings in the country.
Wow.
And then he says, every time we came out of it, he said to the architects, that's nice. Ours will be better.
Wow, that's awesome.
You're here to get ideas. You're not here to copy. You're here to improve. And honestly, I've been involved in this project for a year and a half, a little more. We broke ground in November, but we'll have the official groundbreaking in June. But he hasn't said no to me in a year and a half. Everything I've asked for, yes. We need cryotherapy. The Red Wings love it. That's a great idea. We need an atmosphere controlled room. We can train in atmosphere. Oh, we got to have that. You guys listen to the coach. We need the best performance center in college hockey. Got to build it. Make sure everybody can maximize their potential while they're here. We need a performance chef and an area where these guys can dine and study and go. There hasn't been a no. It has been incredible. Honestly, like a make-believe situation in the best possible way for the Broncos, but it's being built right now. It's 4 square city blocks.
Wow.
We're not messing around here. Full practice facility. 750 seats there, 5,000 in the main facility, every monitor amenity you could possibly dream of. We couldn't be more excited. Again, I love Lawson Arena. I played here. The atmosphere is incredible, but we think we're setting up the new thing, the same atmosphere down at the new rink, but with all the fun stuff for the players to use.
One thing they're going to have to do too is the architect is going to have to put the door frames in a little higher, because that's, your guys' team too. When I looked at it, that's why I was like, by the way, what's up with this Western? I keep getting tweeted about Western. It's Western, but Western. I don't know what's behind that. But talk about your squad.
I think it's Western. I think it's Western, like wasted.
Yeah, I wasn't going to clarify that one. But,
Dasky guy, Army. You should know this.
Well,
that's like the Zoom mask that they tried to get rid of. Zoom mask. Coach is trying to get rid of that too, Army.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. They kept tweeting it at me. I go, what is this? I'm a Western guy. I don't know what you're talking about, but huge team as well. And you got to take care of the big, thoroughbreds that you guys have in your program too. So this whole facility and the players that you guys like to get, these monsters on there. I think you have like 4 guys under 6 feet. Everyone else is like a giant. So how you look for players?
I'm talking to my assistants right now, how those 4 guys snuck in there, but in reality, I don't really care how big or small a guy is, as long as he competes, and he plays with the game without fear. And I think that's what it's all about. Now, we've been blessed with size. That also helps. And I do think it makes a difference, especially this time of year. As you guys watch the national tournament, you saw the referees put some whistles away at times. Mm-hmm. I joked our first game with Minnesota State was a little bit of tackle football at times, and we had to fight through. And I told the guys that they're not calling a penalty, so don't look for one, fight it off. And sure enough, Zach Nearing, 6'5", cuts the guy back, takes it himself to the net. We get a rebound goal and we win that hockey game. But sometimes you just got to man up. The sports are a test of toughness at all times, and I think our team has a lot of that.
Yeah, it's been impressive to watch. I want to get to the Denver game. You're playing Denver again. You won 3-2 in the regular season. You lost 2-3 in overtime regular season. And then in the finals, NCHC finals, you win 4-3 double OT. What's that matchup mean? How are you going to beat Matt Davis come NCAA tournament time?
I mean, Denver is the known quantity, right? They're defending national championships. They return a majority of their lineup, including their star players. I don't want to leave anyone out, but Zeev Buium is a massive superstar. They add Eric Polkamp in. They add some other guys in. As their roster might even be better than last year. And they're as well coached and organized as anyone in the country. I couldn't have more respect for David Carl, his entire staff, what they've done there. Their players have fully bought in. So how do you beat them? We have some confidence because we've had some success, right? And we have belief in ourselves. We have belief in each other in the locker room, and certainly we have a belief in what we're trying to accomplish here. And what's ended up happening is they're world-class hockey games. Both teams are trying to score 1 and 2 in the country. Both teams have NHL quality players. So it's a super fast game. It's up and down the sheet. College hockey fans are in for a real treat next Thursday.
What's the last few weeks? What's this like little wait been like with your group? What are you guys doing? I know I'm a CHL guy, right? Played there, and I've covered the Western Hockey League, and some of these teams lose out. I mean, you're not waiting that long, but they lose out in the first round. They got to wait 40 days before they play in the Memorial Cup. But there's kind of this 2-week buildup for you guys heading into this. What's that been like for your group?
Well, it's interesting because we've had a unique situation. We played 8 weeks in a row at the end of our conference season. And then you got the playoffs 3 more weeks. So we played 11 weeks in a row, and which is unusual in college. But we've kind of leaned in. And like you said, now all of a sudden you're into the grind and you're feeling it. Now all of a sudden you have a week off. But we have a great plan, I believe, in our weeks off. We go Monday, Tuesday. We give them Wednesday off to kind of recover physically, but to recover mentally as well. I think mental energy this time of year is as important as physical energy, right? And then we got after it Thursday, Friday. We've had 4 great practices. Tomorrow morning we'll come out. We'll do a little small area game competition kind of thing. We won't keep them out there long. We'll let them enjoy Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll get back after it Monday with a great 3-day plan to prepare for Thursday. So it's not something we haven't done in the regular season. We certainly have. We've been successful after our weeks off, but I think we've got a good plan. And most importantly, our players have both mental energy and physical energy right now. They're having great practices.
Yeah, that's amazing to get that time off. There's some bumps and bruises that we won't let you talk about. We don't want to give those secrets away, but I remember playing, and if I could have got a week off around this time of year, it would have made a world of difference. So that's huge for your team. I got enough. I got enough on Western Michigan. We don't want to take up your whole day, but it may be one last question from the two of you guys, so we can let the coach get back to work, because we don't want to be the mushes and ruin this thing like we did for Benny Barr in Maine.
If you win on Thursday, I want to get we're doing our show on Friday. I want to get a player on our show if that's possible. I don't know how that works with your team or on the off day in between. It would be awesome to tee up that game if we could get someone. But congratulations, 4 years. I think I said 3 before. 4 years in a row in the tournament. And this is your first time, right? First time
in Frozen Four program history. Yeah.
So congratulations.
That's awesome,
That's
Coach.
amazing. Great job.
Thanks, guys. I couldn't be more excited to be on here. I'm a huge fan, and we'll come on anytime, and certainly on Friday if we're able to secure a victory on Thursday. You guys pick a guy, we'll have him on here.
Let's go.
We'll be there.
Love
We'll
that,
be there. I said I'm not touching any of the teams. I do have a couple of the team sweatshirts from some other stuff, but now that you've come on, I don't know if you want me on your side. Probably not, but I'm leaning towards the Western.
Well, Benny Barr is a good friend of mine. He said he put the Buddha hex on him. It's fine, but it's no big deal. No, but we'll send us your sizes. We'll get you some gear. I mean, you got to be, rep the Broncos. Let's go, boys.
Yeah. I'm the only guy that had you guys through. I'm the only guy.
That was the one thing I did see earlier today was your line with the Broncos. Once a Bronco, always a Bronco. I love it.
Yeah. We live it. We breathe it.
Attaboy, awesome. Patty, congratulations, man. Thanks for the time. Hey.
Thanks, Coach.
Guys.
Yeah, thanks. That was awesome. Wow, I can't believe he snuck us in there. I can't believe he snuck us in. That's why we got him in, got him out of here, and
what energy!
Ton of media. I told you.
What a beauty. He kind of reminds me of the energy that guy in Michigan too, G, that you had on Chicklet's U. Like he's got that positive, like I'm gonna get you. Like we got it figured out, and what a project they have.
That's a head coach right there, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a guy who walks into a room, commands a room. He commanded that interview. Just I love definition of a head coach.
Yeah,
awesome. Western.
When I watched his interviews all day, and I was like, I wanted to go play for the guy.
Yeah,
that's a great get. Merle.
No NIL money. No NIL money. I'm not going back for that.
Yeah.
Just for those who don't know, Merle's booked that interview like 10 minutes before we went on air. So that was a great get, Merle.
Yeah, and Patty made it all work too. So I know he's busy. He had a bunch of shit going on and kind of turned everything around to pop on with us quickly. Great tee up for his team. First trip to the Frozen Four, and he's been there for 4 years and has had him in the NCAA tournament 4 years in a row also, which is absolutely massive for that program. Alex Bump, a guy I'm interested in because my brother has him with the Flyers, obviously a big-time player. And like he's been talking about him, how good this kid is, like just a hockey player. And obviously we see now looking at his stats, what he can do in the season he's had. So maybe, I don't know, you guys have other input, but we'll see if they can get through, right? If they can beat Denver.
That's your X factor then? Bump? He's your X factor? You got Bump. I got Sliknitsky. and you got the Lawson Lunatics.
The Lawson Lunatics, baby. I'm just excited for Army to find out Western, to see Western in person, to get Western at the game.
Like the fans, if they travel well and they see me there and they see this, like they've got to embrace me, right? They've got to bring me in. And 100%. We have that Pink Whitney party possibly that we're setting up on the Saturday before the game, right?
Yep.
So it'll be, I mean, that's a perfect time for me to really experience Western.
We'll have a pop-up. We'll be popping around the town before the games on Thursday, though. Nothing official, but we'll find where the Western fans are, Army, and get you right in the mix with them.
Yeah, try not to get stabbed in the neck in St. Louis. Oh, yeah, great. Looking forward to that.
Booking a hotel in St. Louis was a blast.
Let's move on. We're looking forward
to
the weekend. They're playing Denver. We kind of brushed over them. He talked about David Carl. We all know this. I brought a little nugget for you guys on David Carl. Could be a complete lie, but an insider sent me this. David Carl had his third kid. Every year he's had a kid, he's won it all.
Wow. He just keeps having babies.
Oh, there you go. If you're into that, if it's even true, I should probably have asked him if it's true before
if he wins it all, he's got to go, right? Like he's got to leave college. I think if he does that, it's like you've accomplished everything. You got to go get a bag from someone else.
Back to back.
Chicago
Juniors,
Blackhawks got to take him. Chicago, like you see these guys they got playing for him. It's a whole college hockey team, all young kids playing. How perfect would he be right there?
Like the thing is here too. Let's get into it too. Like we're getting absolutely ripped on by Witt, right? Like BU. How do you not pick BU and their coach and like what he's done and how many years he's been there and all this shit? I looked it up though. Here's my research, boys. Let me get into my research here. BU, way to go, Witt. Yeah, you've been there. They have 5 titles in school history. Okay, they've been there. They have one in the 2000s. They've won 1. That was in 2009. Okay, so I know that you've been there, and that was our chart and our predictions. But like, they fucking win. They don't win it. And then you go to Denver, and you look at them and how many times they've been there and how many times they win, which is what we're going to be looking at now coming up this week, right, boys? They're clipping along at like 50% winning to how many times they've been to the Frozen Four. Ooh, they have the most national championships at 10, right? 10? Yep.
Correct.
10. And they've been there also most recently. They've been there 20 times. I think this is their 20th time. Sorry. 2017, 2022, and last year also. So not only do they get there, 50% of the time they win and they have a chance to go back to back. So sorry, Witt, that we didn't pick BU that goes there and they have a record of getting there. I mean, they don't jump out as the team that wins when you talk about like a Denver team. And then, boys, we have the 2 teams, Western, Michigan, and we have Penn State, Cinderella type years for them. I know Western's been there to the tournament the last 4 years in a row. They get their first berth in the Frozen Four. Penn State, first time ever in school history as well, with a great story of just 15 years ago, club hockey, and here they are. And so BU versus Penn State, Denver, all the history against these teams that are new on the block in this situation, which I think sets up for a pretty good fresh blood final for me. I will say my heart is saying Western Michigan, Penn State final. My gut is saying the old boys on the block might do it. I might have to go with my heart, boys. I might want to see some fresh blood in there. I might want to see those 2 teams get through. I've done my research. I looked at it. I'm not getting fooled by the fancy, logos and the big schools and the portal and all the guys clamoring to go to these programs. I might just have to do it. What's the chat saying? Is the chat ripping on me?
They're saying, go with your gut, Army.
Go with my gut. No, go with my heart. My gut says those other teams. My heart says the new teams. I'm a heart guy. I'm going with the heart. I'm going with Penn State, and I'm going with Western Michigan final, and we'll get to it on next show on Friday. Boom.
Hold on the predictions. Let's save the predictions. Let's wrap up the Denver Western Michigan game. I got Matt Davis as my X factor. You heard his stats on Chicklets. It was less than a goal a game in the tournament. G, you had Zeev Buium as your X factor. Yes,
yeah, incredible. I mean, I think it's pretty cut and dry. Like Zeev Buium is the best player in the tournament right now. Hobie Baker finalist. We saw he was a man amongst boys throughout this tournament so far this year. So yeah, he's the X factor. If Zeev Buium gives you what he's given you the past 3-4 games, it's going to be very, very, very difficult to beat Denver.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Prediction time. Denver, Western Michigan. Arm Dog, you're first.
Western Michigan. I know my X factor on Denver though would be their goaltender. But when you look at goal scoring, you look at defending. We just went through the numbers. You look at size. You look at the name Western. Western Michigan. Their first time in the dance will punch a ticket through the defending champs into the final.
Gee, money. What do you got?
And Bump will be bumping and grinding all game long, and we'll get him on the show on Friday. Let's go.
It's the same exact thing as Army said. It's like my heart's telling me one thing, my head's telling me another. As we know, I don't bet with my head. I bet with my heart. I'm going with the Western Michigan Broncos. Go Lawson Lunatics. I love them. I'm all in. They got the new arena coming, which means a Chicklet U video is probably coming in the next few years. I'm all in on the Western Michigan Broncos. Like we've said in the past, big teams win big games. They're a big team. They're going to win the big game.
I will say this, Merles, too. Great call. We're going to get texts from a couple buddies, the DU guys, right? They're going to be pissed. Last year, there's pictures of me floating around the internet holding up a Denver towel in the final, right? I was on the Denver side, and I know I'm going to hear about it, and maybe I'm dumb, just like Witt. Don't pick BU. Why don't pick BU? Denver, they're defending champions. You're an idiot. And, we're going to hear about it. But my heart, Merles. And obviously G's too. Me and G, our hearts.
Denver made a couple of years ago. Denver won the national championship, and it caused me to lose a bet to my roommate Rudy Junda, which caused me to have to wear full hockey equipment on a 100-degree day to ride a bike all the way around the city of Manhattan.
Oh, yeah. You got hit by a car.
I got hit by a car. I was yelled at by police officers, berated by the people in New York. I'm out on Denver. I'm in on Western Michigan. Let's go. Broncos.
Merles?
Yeah, I mean, I had my Denver sweatshirt clean that I picked up at the celebration last year. I was all like Matt Davis. I'm not going to get fooled again. Matt Davis is the guy, just doesn't let up goals. But now the coach he sold me on the whole entire program. I'm ready to donate money to that new rink if they need it. That's how good of a sell job he did on me. I'm going to say it's going to go to overtime, and then that Western Michigan, they're going to find a way to get it done. Let's get some fresh blood. I like when some new guys win championships. So I'm going to join you guys on Western, and I don't want to hear the text from those Denver alums.
Well, you know what we might get? You know what we just did? And I mean, Merles, you can take it back and go to Denver if you really, because if Denver wins, we got to get a Denver guy on the show on Friday. So we can't be completely. You got to be the Denver guy, bud.
They'll be more apt to come on and chirp us.
Yeah,
you guys are fools.
Yeah, come and chirp. Come and chirp.
So we're all in. Western Michigan. Coach comes on. I mean, can't beat that. So that's it. Moving on. Next game up: BU versus Penn State. Another coach, friend of the program. We had on Guy Godowski from Penn State. We've heard about Pandolfo. He's 7 for 7 in his career going to Frozen Fours. 4 as a player, 3 as a coach. Whitney gave us that stat. Arm Dog, you had an injury update.
What did I have?
Boston. Who is this guy? Boston Buckburger?
Boston Buckburger. That's right. Sorry. Yes.
Who's that? Or is he
That's
on Denver?
He's on Denver.
His name's Boston?
Yeah, his name's Boston. He won with the team last year. Saskatoon kid. Sorry, while we were doing that preview, I should have done the shout out. He got injured before the tournament started at the end of the year. And I think had a pretty big injury. Got hit in a game, and he's out. And I know my parents know his parents, so I want to give him a shout out. I know he's watching his team kind of run through the tournament and get once again a puncher ticket, and he's healing up. He had surgery and everything, so he'll be watching from the sidelines in his team. So game notes, the boys here, Boston. He was waving at us down on the ice when they won the championship with his mom and dad in Minnesota last year. Great kid, Saskatoon kid. Shout out to him with Denver. Watching his teammates, thinking of you, buddy. And we'll see if they can get it done. Sorry, we're on Western.
Yeah, sorry, that was my fault. I saw Boston. I put it under the Boston game. But anyway, Boston BU. G, let's go to you. Who's your X factor for Boston University? Let's go to them first.
It comes down to the goalie. the old Russian goalie. I can't really say his name, but it's the Russian goalie. I mean, that kid came in, absolutely turned their season around. And I mean, on the other side too, it's with Penn State, it's Sergeyev. It's both Russian goalies coming into play this game. And I mean, BU was two different teams this season, before the Russian goalie and after the Russian goalie. And after the Russian goalie, it's been they look like they can win a championship. I said that on Chicklets last week too. Wick can rip on me all he wants, but I did say it wouldn't surprise me one bit if BU gets blown out in their first game, or if they're playing in the national championship, because of their goalie. He can take over games. Just like I was always saying last year with Jeremy Swayman, how he was feeling in that Boston playoff series, he can steal a game. There's a difference. There's a difference between a great goalie and a goalie who can go steal a game. Matt Davis steals games. This Russian kid, he can steal games. So he's my X factor for BU.
Yeah, Sergeyev and what's his name? What's the other guy's name?
Mikhail Yegorov.
Russian
just own goaltending.
Yegorov.
They own goaltending in every level of the game right now. It's incredible. I'm scamming the system here. I have two X Factor, because Game Notes is the official podcast of the Hutson brothers. So I got the two BU Hutson brothers. Quinn, he's got 50 points. Cole, 46 points. Cole's a little shit out there too. He's chirping. I watch him at the World Juniors. He's the X Factor. BU's going to get it done. I'm going to see him all over the place. Penn State can fly. He can fly. He's going to need to skate with all those guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing those two guys.
Yeah.
You got Army. You got anybody? Or did I steal your guys there with the Hudson?
You didn't steal my guys. I mean, I see it. I hear what you're saying. I know what you're saying. My eyes have told me through this tournament and everything too, of that. Yes, they got there. I don't know. They're two different teams, GC. They're two different teams during games as well. Yeah. Like they'll suck for like a period and then they'll play good in the second. And like they look like they're not involved at all. I don't know what I'm going to get with them. I don't know what I'm going to get. The story of Penn State right now, however, has been amazing. When's it going to hit midnight and they're going to turn into a pumpkin is the question for me with Penn State. But what a story they're writing. I'm caught up in the buzz. I'm caught up in the fans. I'm caught up in the action. I'm caught up in the first timers and the fresh blood. I'm caught up in like the energy that is Penn State on their road right now. So that is my X factor. The energy, the buzz, the feeling, the vibes of their season through the second half of the season. One of the best teams, if not the best team in the country, and have pushed their way into this situation they're in right now and punch their ticket into a Frozen Four. Are the lights going to be too bright for the school? Are they going to go, no, what do we got here? This is big. But I don't know. They're writing their own story right now, and I'd like to see them write it all the way to the final.
Yeah, I got Aiden Fink. I'm always a guy going for the top scorers, 23 goals, 30 assists. We talked to the coach about him. Was he a Hobie finalist? He was a top 10 finalist, right?
Top 10. He didn't make the Hobie hat trick, though.
Yeah, he was top 10 finalist. So when we win the big games, you need a star. You need him to score a goal if they're going to get by. I got to pick right now today. Just because of what you said, BU never wins. And the coach came on our show. I'm picking Penn State to go to the finals. Penn State versus Western. And we'll get to my final prediction after you guys give your picks here.
Wow. This one's tough for me. I think, as you guys know, grew up next door to Jay Pandolfo. So this is a tough one. I've established myself as the BC guy, though, in the pod. So it's tough to come in here and be rooting for BU. Heart is telling me pick Penn State. Brain is telling me pick BU. I know a lot of the Penn State guys. They were awesome. Coach Gads has sent me a few really nice texts. After I did the Chicklets U video,
reason he loves you for some reason. Hey,
he told me I was a Nittany Lion for life. After
he loves you.
Video.
He loves you.
It's insane. And then I'm at Amazon last night with Biz in Yans, and people are coming up to me being like, Frozen 4, you're riding with Penn State, huh? You're the big Penn State guy. And I'm like, am I? Is that me? And if that's who I am, I'll run with this. I'll be the big Penn State guy. I love Ben Schoen, unbelievable kid. We talked to Coach Gads about him. He missed all last season with like a broken leg. People didn't even think he was going to walk correctly again. And then he comes back this year. He's having an incredible year. So I've been talking to those guys throughout the season.
This is big.
So
this is everything.
I think I'm going to go with the Nittany Lions, boys.
All right,
Penn State,
all right.
the Roar Zone, baby. We're coming for you, BU. I love the Nittany Lions, but like I said, it's a very, very difficult decision for me. Jay Pandolfo, I think he's the best coach in college hockey outside of, David Carl. But yeah, this is a really tough decision for me, boys. I'm struggling right now, but I'm going to go with Penn State in the Roar Zone.
I think if you took off your clothes and you're in your undies and you're crawling to get into bed, if they did an AI image of you transitioning, you would highly resemble a Nittany Lion walking when you did
Well,
that.
boys, people don't know this, and I don't know if I could show you guys right now, but I have a giant PSU tattoo on my ass. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but going across one of my butt cheeks, I have PSU. I went to Plymouth State University. So but hey, I got PSU on my buttocks. So I think I got to roll with with PSU.
Yeah, you have to. Imagine being able to pull that out on Saturday night after they win the title.
Hey,
doing that butt chugs out of your butt.
It was hilarious though. So when I went out with when I went and did the Penn State video, I Thursday night I went out with a couple of the guys, and then Friday morning I went to their morning breakfast, and I walked in and I was like, boys, this school is crazy. Like, I woke up and I had PSU tattooed on my ass, and I pulled my ass down and showed it, and they were all like, what the fuck? Like, what did you do last night? And I was like, some kid had a frat like tattooed my, I don't know, like, what the fuck? And I told them after, I was like, oh, I got it like 15 years ago at Plymouth State, but
it's all wrinkled and
I got to ride with the ass tat.
Yeah. Attaboy. Well, I don't know. Like, what do you think? Like, Godowski and now Ferschweiler are thinking that we kind of picked their teams. I don't know.
They're pissed.
Like I went our last time. They're gonna get through. I mean, that's because we're like the mushes on our things. Like we're done. We're gonna screw them. I don't know. That might be the kiss of death. That might be the game notes kiss of death, boys.
BU has Wit. Wit's a bigger mush. Wit's a bigger mush.
Call.
He's probably has Yandel on his side. He'll talk biz into it. They're bigger mushes than us.
I don't know if anyone's a bigger mush than us. Did you see our Frozen Four picks?
We're good. We're all right. Hey, as long as we get the winner right. As long as we get the winners right.
Yeah.
This is when you want to get hot. It's like at the casino. You don't want to win the first 2 hours. You need to win your last 3 hands at the casino when it counts.
Friday will be a great show, though. Either way, we set it up.
I swept the Frozen Four last year in the picks. I know that for a fact, and I'll do it again this year. So ride me.
Libby in the chat says BSU, Butt State University.
Yeah.
Oh, he's all
so
in.
On that note, that will bring a close to our college hockey. Has anybody else got anything else to go on?
I got nothing, buddy.
All right.
Don't be mean to me, BU fans. I'm sorry.
Predictions are in.
Before we get to the NHL, let's quickly touch on your WHL playoffs out west, Arm Dog.
Oh, why wouldn't we? Calgary, the lone sweep, it swept the Blades. Blades weren't supposed to really get anything done. Amazing. They made the playoffs, got some good young guys, but Calgary swept them either way. There is one series, I believe, that is not 3-1. Every other series is 3-1. And Hurricanes, Game 5, Berta, our boy Berta Merles.
Yeah,
he'll be boots on the ground in Lethbridge for this Game 5. They can hopefully get her done on home ice, Lethbridge against Brandon. So that's Roger McQueen, the draft pick with Brandon Wheat King. So we'll see how they fare and how they do in that game, putting them to sleep. But all those series are right there. 3-1. The only one is a sweep. In the OHL, London and Kingston both swept their series to start.
Surprise,
Denver.
Surprise.
Oh, first of all, Western Hockey League as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say, I see here in Western Hockey League notes, future RPI engineer Gavin McKenna has 14 points in 4 playoff games.
4 playoff games, 14 points.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. He's just lighting it up. 2 goals, 12 assists, just absolutely lighting it up and just ripping through. So, yeah, keep an eye on him, obviously. He's not even drafted for like a few more years. And some other news too, right? Penticton, a team that is coming into the Western Hockey League. We didn't really talk about that. And then they said like Chilliwack, another team that may be coming in as they expand, and we'll see what comes of that. And if that's happening, by all words, it is. And then I heard a little rumor about Kelowna. I don't know if want to say, but they host the Memorial Cup next year. But I kind of heard that they might be up for sale, Merles. So I don't know. We might want to get in on Kelowna, wine country out there in the Okanagan, buddy. That might be a great place for us.
Jeez.
Hang our hats.
Wow.
Hang our hats, buddy. But OHL, only a couple sweeps. Every other series, basically 3-1 as well. Denver Barkey, Flyers third rounder. He has 12 points in 4 games through that sweep, 5 goals and 7 assists in 4 games.
Jeez.
I mean, that's
might want to throw a guy on these guys. Do they not know how to play defense on
they
these
don't know how to check these guys. I don't know what's going on. And then Rimouski swept Charlottetown in the Q. They're hosting Memorial Cup. They're one of the top 10 teams this year in the CHL almost the whole way through. So some of these teams are slugging along. The top teams are winning. Top teams are winning. And that's what it is. Usually in junior hockey with the way they slot it and the way it sets up. A lot of those top teams all win and get through. So we're in the playoffs already in the CHL. Western League, though, Berta, boots on the ground in Lethbridge, taking his cousin to the game. Big Lethbridge Hurricanes fan. Berta, our guy.
I love it. I love the Western League. You've got me following the Western League now. I love it. So it's time, though, for the big show, the show as it's called, the NHL. Talk of the NHL right now is all about the St. Louis Blues. 11 in a row, scraped off the mat by Coach Jim Montgomery. Ties the Blues record set by the 18-19 Cup winning team, having 11 in a row. The next game is tough. It's against my Avalanche, but they got that wild card locked up, it seems.
Is that not like like with their team, and they've been like a team when Binnington came in that 18-19 year, obviously they went on their run, but this pops up, a winning streak ties it, the same winning streak record set that year as well. When they were on their run.
Yeah.
They got Joe Boo in the locker room. They got little voodoo thing going on. They got Monty. They got these guys. I mean, they got Snuggerud there now. He's lighting it up in the few games that he's been in there. So, I mean, it's kind of coming around, just like I heard on Chicklets with the stat that Witt threw out there for the Leafs. This is like kind of like Blues stats stuff, though, like how it's all coming around to that year they won the Cup, Merles, and just on an epic run right now. Just an epic run, finding ways to win games down, like they're scoring late to tie it, winning and over. Like, how many times have they done it along the way too?
Yeah, they're it's sick. That game the other night, they're losing and they scored 20 seconds left to tie it up. Then they win in OT. Last night they have the game, they blow it with 23 seconds left, but then they draw the penalty in overtime. Everything's just coming up Blues. I just hope I don't hope it ends. I hope it doesn't end while we're out there and then we get blamed for that. Well, because you guys are in St. Louis. They finally lost the game. It'll be at 15 games or something by then.
So they have to lose before we go out to Frozen Four, is what you're saying.
Or they can keep winning. Keep winning.
Yes, good point, actually. Yes. Or they can keep winning. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Montreal, buddy. Oof. How about Montreal, too? You think they're going to go away. Okay, they're running hot. You think it's going to be a story that just they fizzle or something, and like they're not.
No, they're back.
Not. And now I saw a video of Fowler practicing with them out of college hockey. All these guys are signing. They're coming up. Saw Fowler in a Montreal Canadiens jersey. We've heard you guys talk about how good he is and how good of a goaltender he is, how good of a prospect he is. And then we look at the season they're having, and then you look at the guy that everyone thinks can't get it done, friend of the show, Lane Hutson, and the seasons he's throwing together as well. And just the confidence. It's like mojo, Merles. It's like mojo with them right now.
They got it all right now. They got the crowd. I know I'm pulling for them because I just see that crowd every time. And then since we've been up there for the Four Nations, the city, I'm pulling for them. They look good. I picked up Sam Monabo in my fantasy league last night. I'm like, oh, they're playing the Bruins. He might get a shutout. He ended up letting in one, but that was a nice pickup by me, future GM somewhere. After my fantasy, I'm in the playoffs, not a big deal. But I want to talk about this next team here on our list. Your Jets put in their backup goalie last night on the road in Vegas, one of the top home teams. My team, which is I am now like really scared about my future. They smothered Vegas last night. They gave them absolutely nothing, won 4-0.
And I texted our group chat. It was going into the third period. I know the shots equalized out later. They were just smothering Vegas, smothering them. And Comrie was just sitting in a rocking chair. He had 12 shots on goal in like going into the third period. They couldn't get anything going. they eventually, got it going. Little score, like the score was run away, so like they started to push and get some chances. But the Jets, man, I mean, and they are battling also right now with Dallas positionally. That was a huge win for them just to kind of stretch and pull away. But it's just unbelievable, this team. They're another team that no one gives any credit to, that all year, all they've done is lead the Central Division almost front to back, right at the top, and have just got it done. And then you chuck in a Vegas game that would be a measuring stick style game. And you watch that, Merles, and you're like, holy shit. Because you know how much I know you're a Vegas guy. I was just like watching it. I was like, this is systematic. This is systematic, the way they're just smothering. Absolutely smothering. And the guys they brought in, Tanev and Shen, are perfect guys.
Yes,
for the way they play.
Everywhere. He was everywhere. I was watching that game and I said, there's no chance of Vegas coming back. I'm not live betting this game. There is no chance Vegas is coming back in this game. It was over in the first 10 minutes. It was incredible.
And we should get Comrie on our show, or at least Chicklets, maybe get him on. Just a wild character of a guy. Hilarious, quirky goaltender guy. Beauty, but secures the win. Absolute smothering performance last night by the Winnipeg Jets. Message sending.
We are on the hunt for a Jets super fan to have as our regular insider come playoff time, as we like to do. We have our Vegas insider we'll have on. We have different insiders for each team as the playoffs go on and which team we need to talk about. But we can never find a Winnipeg guy. So if you know of anybody out there in the world, the chat, let us know. We need somebody that's dialed in with this team and can give us these inside nuggets we need to make bets and whatnot.
Austin Burke in the chat. Incoming Jets playoff choke. Oh, Chicklets, Jesse from Bar Down. Oh yeah, he's a diehard Jets guy.
He's a real diehard.
He's fucking diehard Jets guy. Yeah. Jesse Pollock. Yeah, that's his name.
There we go.
He's all Winnipeg guy, all over the Jets. That guy, yeah, he's the kind of lunatic Jets fan we're looking for. That's what we want. Guys like that, crazy guys.
Crazy.
Absolutely. Guys. So right now, if it's all set up, Merles, if St. Louis can do their part, I mean, you want to stay away from St. Louis, but you never know. But Minnie's down there right now in that second wild card spot. So, Jets choke incoming in the playoffs. If they can, I don't know, they could be dangerous. You get Kaprizov, you get some of these, you get healthy Minnesota team. It'd be crazy. But I think I'd rather Minnesota than the Blues. The way they're
100%. 100%. I'm Vegas. I got my Vegas future. I don't want the Blues. But I do like the idea that maybe I can make a trip out to Vegas to see St. Louis, since my friend's the coach and my other friend's the assistant GM. Think I can pull that one off?
You can pull it off. You're a guy.
Going? I got to go. I got to go see the boys. I got to see the boys.
You got to get some pull. Get some pull. Oh, I just seen this too. Draisaitl hurt again last night. Yeah, he left the game.
Yeah.
Not good news.
We're going to get to that news in a little bit when we start talking about the games. Do we want to switch over to the games, or we want to talk about a couple guys lighting it up this week?
Let's do it. Let's do the Game Notes team of the week.
All right. First up is the guy. He's the guy everyone's talking about, Alex Ovechkin. He's 3 goals away from the record after getting 3 goals and 3 assists in the 3 games this week. It's something to see. He's out boozing the one night. You knew he was scoring the next night after getting on video boozing.
Bands make a dance. Bands make you dance. I don't even know how it goes, but he loves that.
I don't have a clue. Yep. So Ovi's on there. We're going to talk about him in a little bit, about tonight's game. I got a great little tidbit for us for that one.
Next up, Kirill Marchenko, the 6'5" dangling Russian sniper, got absolutely lambasted last night by your Avs, Merles. Just a smashing. But they're hanging around. They're hanging in there. They're battling. They're trying to stay in the hunt. They're trying to fight. But this Marchenko, 4 games, 5 goals, 2 assists, 4 points back on Montreal. Do they have enough in the tank? Do they have enough of what it takes? This Marchenko's been a story there. Just an absolute horse for him.
Yeah, and the reason they are behind Montreal is because of their captain, Nick Suzuki. 4 games, 4 goals, 3 assists. Habs have won 3 in a row. They're 2 up on the Rangers. They look great. They got it all. They are firing all cylinders, and it all starts with the captain.
And back over to Columbus. These 2 teams, they're playing desperate, hard hockey. Dante Fabro, we'll give him a little love. 3 games. He's got 2 goals, 4 assists. So the production's there. They're scoring goals. They're an exciting team to watch here down the stretch. Both Montreal and Columbus. Dante Fabro, welcome to the Game Notes team of the week.
Next guy up, I think at the end of the season, I'll go through somehow and look at every team of the week. I'm pretty sure he's going to be the leader. Cale Makar, he's probably been on the team the most. 30th goal, 90 points, first D with back-to-back 90 points since Paul Coffey. 3 games this week. He's got a goal in every game. He's got a point streak of 6 points. He's everything. He is everything. I love this guy. Go Avs, go.
Yeah, I think though, like the last time a D had 90 points, Paul Coffey, that was like early 90s in that time frame. So that's how long it's been right now. And 30 goals, 90 points. I mean, 30 goals. Like Green was the last guy. What do you have? 31 goals, I think, in the year. I think it was 31. Who knows what this alien can do? In net, Pickard, Edmonton is 3-0, keeping the Oilers in the race for second. 97 out, and now Leon out, in, and then back out last night, leaving the game. So way to go, Pickard. He's a guy that had to come in in the playoffs last year too, and kind of buy some time. Was that last year? I think it was. I'm getting my years mixed up, but backup guy getting a little love here.
I could be completely wrong. You're right. Could have been 2 years ago, but whatever. I'm going with it this year. But next up, rookie. I think it's since he's came on the show. He has completely taken over the rookie of the year talk. Lane Hutson, 4 games, 6 assists. He's everywhere. I watched that game last night, the Bruins games. I hammered Montreal. He's doing all these little plays. Guys try to hit him, and they're bouncing off of him, and he's coming out. Even the Bruins announcer's like, Hutson came away with that puck again. He comes out of every corner. He's so small, but he comes out of every puck. He's everywhere. Then he's first on the rush, and he's bouncing around like we talked about in his interview. He's incredible.
He's incredible. And I saw Wednesday Night Hockey. Luke Gazdick did a big thing on the season he's having and where he's at, and kind of went over like the numbers that he's having as well in a rookie campaign for a defenseman. I think we have a little board built for that, a little graphic also for Lane Hutson of the year he's having, and you look at where he's at, and Luke Gazdick is like on Wednesday Night Hockey up for Sportsnet. He's like, oh, and all the guys that are listed above him and where he's closing in on right now are all Hall of Famers. So you see like what he's doing right now in this season, and no one is smaller than him out of all these guys too. He hasn't scored that many goals, but he's so like frantically frenetic on the ice in a sense that he can set up these little lanes. He cuts in little shot passes to sticks. Like he just pulls and shifts guys around all over the ice, and he's never in trouble. And he always gets out of it if he is. It's just wild to watch. But there's a production that he has right now in what he's been able to do his rookie season. Just a couple points back now of Chelios, 3 of Ray Bourque, and we're talking about some big time hitters in the game of hockey, and that's what he's doing right now. Unbelievable. And we had him on the pod. I mean, he's the first hockey guy we had on. This is the guy, friend of the show, right? Lane Hutson, Murr.
Yep. Yeah, I can't remember. I bet you we talked about it on the show, what his odds were to win the rookie of the year at that point. And I feel like they were plus 450.
He's got to get it, range. Right?
And now I bet you he's the favorite now. I can't get on there right now. I don't want to mess with my internet, but I don't see how he doesn't get it, especially if they make the playoffs, even that they're in the race.
Like the numbers he's doing is on the, he's up there with those names of like historic, rookie seasons for a defenseman. I mean, it's unbelievable what he's been able to do in his first year. And he's fun as hell to watch. He's just fun as hell to watch. So the production's there, fun as hell to watch. And like the talk coming out of it too, Merles, is the production's there, yes, but like it's great to see, and he's electric, but like defensively too, that he's been rock solid. I think he's proving a lot of people wrong with his game overall, as it's said and done here at the end of the year. Lane Hutson minus 1,000 on DraftKings
right now. It went that far.
He's running away.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned it after his interview.
I think he was plus 600 or something at that time.
He was like plus 300 like a week ago.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. Celebrini was the front runner like a week.
The mainstream media has turned the tide on the lines,
and everyone just wants to see Montreal get in. Like everyone, and it's just great for hockey seeing them like revive.
Well, yeah, them and the Sens, right? Like some fresh blood. They want to see some of these fresh blood teams with some good young cores. Kind of, Boston's out of the picture. We know the Rangers are trying to fight to get in there. They're an old blood team that's kind of been in there all, number of years. So it's interesting right now with those two young groups and those young cores kind of popping, which has been nice to see. And I think we talked about that right at the start of the year when we had our predictions, Merles. I would love to see those predictions.
I got them. I got them somewhere. I'll put them in the
Maybe
group
next
chat.
show. Maybe next show.
Yeah, we can go through those.
We revisit those and see how
yeah,
wrong
no,
we were.
No, it'd
right.
be great if ours were awesome and Wits are terrible, and we can just chirp him back.
That's it.
I might just change his. He won't remember anyway. So I'll make him have every team wrong and ours are right. So we can be like, yeah, we were wrong about NCAA, but you're supposed to be the NHL guy, and you went 0 for 8. So
absolutely.
Moving on, let's do some quick picks here. We got Friday night. We got 3 games. We do have a DraftKings special. We have a little special tonight for the chat for us. Everybody can get involved. We got a little graphic. You go on the app, you find it. Here it is. It's plus 948. Of course, we got Ovi to score a goal. We got the new cap, the BC legend Ryan Leonard, just to get a point. Seth Jarvis,
I love
to get a point. And then Minnesota Wild, they need to win. I know the Islanders need to win, but I think the Islanders are done. I had a great stat on the Wild. They've beaten the Isles the last 7 times. So that's the one that really pumps it up to plus 948. Get over there, ride with the boys, and let's have a night. Do you have any single picks tonight, Army?
No, I like that. I just like that big DraftKings thing we have. I like when we throw those things together. The odds are great. I love it. I like Leonard. I like that we threw him in there. Seth Jarvis, Western guy. Hell yeah. And then who doesn't want to see Ovi on the chase still? So way to string it together there, Merles. I love it. Where are we now?
I do have some other. I have some single picks. So
you do?
Yeah, I got some single picks. Ding, ding, ding. Ring the bell. Ovi record. We're all talking about it. We're all watching it. I could see this guy doing it in a hat trick against Chicago, who's been known to give up a lot of goals. I saw a little stat. He got his 800th goal against Chicago, and he did it by hat trick. So go on DraftKings Sportsbook, and they got this big thing. Singsy was on it early. He's like, oh, I see hat trick plus 1,700 on DraftKings. I said, no, Singsy. Singsy, listen up. I told you, wait till the show. Tune into the show. Go into the DraftKings. Go into the NHL. Go over. They have Ovechkin specials. Which team is he going to break it against? So you can bet, is it Columbus? Because he has 2 games coming up against Columbus. Is it this team? Go down. Chicago, plus 2,000. So
wow.
It's plus 2,000. If he gets 3 goals tonight, I'm sprinkling a little something on that. And, if he gets 1, he's going to get 2, and then the empty net chance will be there. We'll see if he'll do it on an empty net or not, but I can see him doing it in dramatic fashion, like a hat trick. So let's take a chance on that tonight. Next game up, Carolina 3-way. Canes have won last 6 versus the Wings. I'm also on Minnesota straight up. They won the last 7 versus Isles that I already talked about. That's the Friday card. Go over to DraftKings, bet that parlay with the Game Notes crew.
Love it. All right, little show mindsies, Mer.
Yeah, let's run it quick here as it's Friday. People want to get the happy hour, and then they're going to drink this the next morning, tomorrow morning. But quickly.
Run it, Pasha.
All
right, you want me to hit it first with my show?
Let's fire it up.
Gotta give a show as playoffs started. Sad news. Medicine Hat goaltender in the Western Hockey League, Harrison Menigan, lost his father tragically and suddenly. 5 days later, said he wanted to play. He wanted to play. They were unsure like what's going to happen. Obviously, when you're mourning like that, he said he wanted to play this kid. Tampa Bay prospect, 20-year-old kid in Medicine Hat. 5 days after his father passed away. If you haven't seen the video on social media of his teammates gathering around him, he pitches a shutout in the game against Swift Current. And the pouring out of emotion from his teammates and him giving his stick in the air, skating around, his fans kind of gave him a hug from the stands, if you will. Just one of those performances in a heart-wrenching way. And to see his teammates and these, junior kids, these, teenagers around him, hugging him. You're a brotherhood. You're a team. They got your back. You can get out there on the ice and just kind of maybe put stuff on the back burner a little bit and just try to, play goal. Obviously in honor of his father, Derek. So amazing performance, Harrison. Everyone's thinking of you. That's, obviously brutal to deal with, but a shutout, and Dad was looking down on him. Just a moment right there in the Western Hockey League for Harrison Menigan. Medicine Hat.
Well, yeah, it's incredible. Tough to go after that one. So that's why I'm not going to do it. So Pasha, why don't you pop on here with a show?
Yeah, my show is a guy you're familiar with, Merle's my boy Jerry Fitzgerald in Hockey Allsvenskan, currently in the second round of the playoffs. He had a 4-goal game last night, set the record for most goals in a playoff game. So just a big-time performance by my buddy playing out of Stockholm in Merle's neck of the woods. Give him a little bit of a shout-out.
Oh,
Yeah, I put him in a mind because I tried to meet him out for beers during the NHL games a couple years ago, and he iced me, Heisman.
Big dog, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if I shouldn't even allowed that on here, but we'll let him go this time. G, you got a show?
I do. Hit it, Posh. I'm calling the Roar Zone up to the show. Obviously, we talked about Penn State making their first Frozen Four appearance. Look at this. This is right when these guys got back to campus. They had the Roar Zone and all the fans at Penn State waiting for them. We've talked about, great fan sections in college hockey. The Roar Zone's up there with the best of them. I was getting a couple videos from some of the guys as well from the night out that they got to have that night. And just, I just don't know if there's a better school to win at than Penn State. It's these guys are rock stars the second they stepped on campus before this. And now that they're Frozen Four bound, they're just they're on top of the world right now. So I'm calling the Roar Zone to the show this week. Hopefully they show the fuck out in St. Louis. Excited to party with everyone from the Roar Zone and everyone from Penn State. But just awesome for those kids. And yeah, I'm calling them up to the show. They got a Stanley Cup experience essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. That's awesome.
Are you sure that was at Penn State or was that Allentown? Or it's basically the same. So.
It's basically the same.
Fucking joke, NCAA. Clean it up, NCAA. You're lucky I'm not sending you the Mindsies for that placement against my main team.
Did you see that? That's a great point, Merles, because did you see what David Carl once again been the biggest advocate of getting rid of neutral zone regional games, and he broke down how it should look each game. And it's like the 1 versus 16 plays a home game so it would have been BC versus Bentley at Conti Forum, and then 2 versus 15 at the home rink, and then you move and you play a 2-game or 3-game series, and then you move to the next round where it's another 2-game or 3-game series. I love everything that David Carl was saying. I think he's just such an advocate for this, and it needs to happen.
Well, something along the lines, right? Thinking outside the box that they're currently in right now. So I agree. And that's what made it. That was major home ice advantage, Penn State. No question.
But that's what made that one the funnest to watch, though, because it actually felt like a home game as opposed to you're watching the other ones. And the Manchester Arena at SNU Arena is dead empty. You're like, what the fuck?
And
this
then
is Denver versus Providence.
They had ice problems in Manchester to add to it because they don't play hockey there all season. So that big mistake there, and then the mistake of Maine having to play a road game as the #1 seed is just 2 huge mistakes that go to your thing. No more neutral site games.
Group Mindsies. Can that be a group Mindsies?
Group Mindsies.
Group Mindsies. My show, sticking on the college kids. I love that these NHL teams are giving them a chance now. They're throwing them right in the lineup. You saw Snuggerud get an assist last night. We're looking for Leonard to get one now. I wish I had that opportunity. If I went up right after my college season full of confidence and piss and vinegar, I would have lit it up. I would have never saw the Mindsies. We wouldn't even have a show. I'd be living on an island somewhere drinking.
Of course you would have, Merle. Of course you would have. Of course.
Buses and clean the bus in the minors with Army. Remember clean the bus?
Oh my God.
Oh, disgusting.
Gross.
But I like that they're doing that for these kids this year.
Yeah, it's awesome. And some of them are standing out. I mean, unbelievable. Snuggerud, huge burst last night down the wing to set up that goal on the backside, little tap in.
Leonard throwing his body around like he's a 10-year vet.
He's not shy. Let's put it that way. He's not shy. He's not dipping his toe in. So a lot of these kids, give him a ton of credit. Right out of there, right into the big show, the bright lights, and they're performing. It's fun to watch right now as we follow some of those guys, Merles.
All right, so Mindsies. This one we're going to keep quick. I said we're going to keep that one quick. We did not keep that quick. Quick Mindsies.
Oh, my God. Mine isn't quick, but hear my rant out. Okay, I did the whole wingers, guys, right? The wingers are the new centermen. They should be paid accordingly. We went through the stats, all the wingers that have all the great stats. Now it's award season, right? We're on the awards and like, oh, he'd be a Selke pick for sure if he played center. Like, what are you talking about? Are you not listening to me? Do you not watch hockey? Do you not see how hockey is now? Winger is harder. The D, look at Hutson. Look at these guys. Makar, they're all over the offensive zone. You're trying to track these guys. It is insane. No one cycles the puck anymore. The centermen aren't down low working both corners. This doesn't happen. Everything's up high. High offenses. Listen to me. Everyone's rolling. 5 men totally involved. Centermen are wingers. Wingers are centermen, and they're producing more. If you're good enough to win an award, and it doesn't matter if you're a centerman anymore. The game has evolved. It's completely changed. Wingers are at the top. Wingers are the guys that have to know all these tendencies. They're the bigger producers with harder jobs now. It's a new hockey. So if you got an award, the wingers should get it. I don't want to hear this. He's a winger bullcrap. Mindsies if you have that opinion.
I love it, Army. G, while you're here, Mindsies, my friend.
I think it's pretty obvious who my mindsies are this week. It's the Boston Bruins, losing 10 games for the first time in a decade. But while it's mindsies, it's also kind of show a little bit. Like, if you're going to tank, fucking tank. Like,
Yes.
Go all in on this tank. Like, they got guys playing right now that I've never even heard of. And it's great to see. I mean, if you're going to, like, there are people talk about how this draft is not as elite as other drafts, and people say that every year, but we really have no fucking clue because these guys are 18 years old. They're 17, 18 years old. We don't know if this is a loaded draft yet, and we're not going to know for a few years. But there are. What do the Bruins need most? They need a center, and there's 2 centers that are predicted to go in the top 5, and then there's Frundell who could go in the top 6. So right now, how the Bruins are tanking, I like it.
It's an amazing tank.
I like it a lot. They re-signed Brad Marchand this summer. You draft Michael Misa. Maybe you go sign Brock Besser. I'm back on board on the Bees, baby. I'm ready to make another bet with Pasha.
I never would have thought that we'd see Boston, and for all the talk of Buffalo, below Buffalo in this. It's unbelievable.
But it's like the Sabres. We should throw the Sabres in the mindsies too, because why aren't they tanking? You're right there to get like a future franchise center or
this is what they do though.
They do it every year. They remember the other year they ended up 1 point out like 2 years ago. They went on a run, won 10 out of 12 or something to finish the year. You idiots!
They're
the
so
Bills
used
used to
to
do
playing
the
in
same thing.
They're so
They're like
used to
7-3 in their last 10. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're so used to playing where they are. This is just them playing. They're just playing. That's what they do. Yeah.
So that's a big game on Sunday. We'll get to in a little bit. It's Boston at Buffalo. But before that, let's get to Pasha's mindsies.
My mindsies is just something that irked me a bit is, as you guys I'm sure saw, Nico Mikkola took that clapper at the end of the game towards the opposing net, ended up getting a fine for it. I don't get this. Like, if the buzzer's over and he does it, sure. But there's still time on the clock. He's allowed to put the puck on net if he wants. Why is he getting fined for that? To me, it was just kind of crazy. And I totally get if the Habs are mad and they charge him and fight him, face wash, whatever, that's fair. But why is the league finding this guy for taking a clapper on net when there's like 2 seconds left? That's just crazy.
Like, did he hit anybody though? That's the thing. I saw it.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
It just went down the ice. It was
one of the Habs D-men kind of like jumped out of the way, but like, no, he didn't.
It wasn't Alfredson in 06 when they went to the finals and he rifled it off Niedermeyer. That was kind of like, ooh.
But funny enough, the two teams played again the other day, and I saw a clip of Gallagher rifling one, and he actually did hit Mikkola. And there were some people were saying, "Oh, is that him getting revenge?" Which again, I love that. I love the little, the antics in the game. But why is the league stepping in and finding this guy? Like, to me, that was just whack.
Yeah, that's definitely mindsies, but $5,000, that's a drop in the bucket. Like I said, it's just one night at the elbow room for these guys, the amount of money they're making. My mindsy kind of is like yours. It's the Canes Caps brawl. Awesome. They're getting ready. They know they're going to see each other in the second round. They're setting the tones early. I'm sending the mindsies, these people that are so upset about Chatfield. Like, you want to mess with the ball, you get the horns. Like, what are you doing? Like, the guy's bigger and stronger than you, and he tossed you around. 1, get in the gym. 2, start eating some chicken wings and drinking some beer. Get a little heavier so he can't toss you around like that. Or 3, you're so good and you've scored so many points. He shouldn't be McMichael. He shouldn't be anywhere near this fight. He should be sitting on the bench with Ovi. Like, where's the rest of the guys? So mindsies for those people, mindsies for his Capitals teammates that let him get in this situation, because he's too good of a player for this to happen to. But hey,
I think 2 guys that don't know how to
you're
fight.
Out there, baby. Like, you're going.
Yep.
Anything goes.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. But it was pretty jujitsu-y. I mean, I was surprised he didn't have one of those white karate gis on when he was doing that. It was kind of karate style. Yeah. But nonetheless, I got you.
A hockey fight. I got my eye gouged by Sheldon Keefe and Jr. This is the NHL. They're getting paid millions of dollars. Don't get tossed around. Put on some weight. He won't be able to do that to you. I don't know. Whatever.
I think it's inexperienced fighters too. That's shit happened.
He shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been in that situation.
Yeah. There's no fighting.
No, he should have done though. I keep wanting to bring him up because I brought him up a couple years ago. I was trying to get him that Calgary Flames job. Who should have came on the ice in that game is Mitch Love, the Capitals assistant coach. He would have knocked out all those guys on Carolina.
Oh, easily.
So, yeah,
easily.
I love her. But I every time I see them play, I see him on the bench there. I keep forgetting to mention him as a assistant coach. And
he's got the see-through glasses on. He's got like the see-through frames with a little mustache. He looks like he's undercover, like an investigative guy. But yeah, he could be head coach written all over him, Merles. But moving on, here we go. We're through it. That's show mindsies. All right, get us to Saturday, Merles. We got some games. Saturday always brings it 13 games.
Yep. Yeah, it's a frenzy. I'll go quickly through my picks. I got Dallas -1.5. Look for Sid to get a point, though. He's on an 11-game point streak. I'm on LA 3-way at home. We know the stats. It looks like Draisaitl got hurt again last night. I don't know when he's coming back. I haven't heard if McDavid will be back, but either way, LA at home. I ate my crow. They're gonna get it done at home. Vancouver, Anaheim over 5.5. Vancouver shut out last game. That won't happen again. Tampa, Buffalo over 6.5. The Goatheads will be on. I'm going to take a shot on them there again. They both can score. And those are the early games. If we are hot, Army, I will put out some extra picks on Twitter Saturday night.
Yeah, you got to stay tuned. Of course, things change. I mean, can you imagine if we did our show yesterday and then Draisaitl's out and we don't know, so stay tuned for that, obviously. Does Posh have anything? Or we're just moving on?
I do, yeah.
Big game tomorrow afternoon.
Devils Rangers matinee. And what more a delicious way for the Devils to end the Rangers season. Just put the dagger in their hearts with a nice win. And it is Meyer March. It's Meyer Madness. Timo Meyer, anytime score, parlayed with the Devils win. And of course, all this talk about Lane Hutson, deservedly so, but Luke Hughes is also doing special things. So Luke Hughes point as well. Book that.
Warning, the following statements are about to be made by a deranged Devils fan. The views expressed are his and his only. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt because, remember, he is a deranged Devils fan.
All right, we got that in.
That was definitely needed.
I love it.
Singsy was unbuttoning his shirt while you were giving those picks too, by the way. Singsy in the chat, he's just unbuttoning his shirt at work. You can't do that, Singsy. But there it is.
12:30 kickoff. And I like that angle. It can end the Rangers season. That just adds to this huge game.
Beautiful.
Looking forward to that one. And then let's get into Sunday.
Sunday, Merles. Absolutely. We got to get the picks up for Sunday right here. We got them. 8 games, an 8-game Sunday. What you got on tap?
Yeah. If Ovi doesn't get the hat trick tonight, I will take him anytime goal on the island in the early game there. I'm on the Buffalo money line. We just talked about it. The Bruins are pathetic. They're awful. So Buffalo doesn't know how to tank. Bruins know how to tank. That's going to be an easy one. Next up, Montreal money line. We've talked about them all show. We all love Montreal. We all wanted to make it at Nashville. We saw how pathetic Nashville was at the IceCon game. They are disgraced. They are done. Montreal, only good things. That's my card for the week.
There it is. I was going to sniff that over on the all-tank game down there just because these teams will just be loose and scoring. I don't know if that'll happen. Don't take my word for that one. That's just something that's interesting with 2 shitty teams down at the bottom.
Who can tank best?
Who can tank best? And Merles, I want to get to this because you tweeted at us. You did fly back over from Sweden. You are now boots on the ground back over here. And you teased some travel tips.
Ooh. Yes.
And
so my first travel tip was how you get the free cart for your luggage because US is the only airports that charge you $6 for that. But the next one up and it's probably more for parents when you're flying, but you're doing the 8 hours over and they come by with that Coca-Cola, right? You get the Diet Coke in the can and the kids are all over you. The can's getting spilled everywhere. So first hack up, get the small water bottle, pound the water, open it up, pour the Coke in there. So you got Coke in a bottle the whole time.
Seal it up.
Seal it up because the kids are everywhere. You don't have time to pull you don't get to have your tray out when you have a little toddler and have your drink sit there and your little peanut snack and your body armor flash IV, you know?
I like that.
That's number one. And now it's the same type of thing with the coffee. They come, you're on these overnight flights, you're on these long flights, kids aren't sleeping. Got to be hammering the coffee. Blue Stella coffee if you can. Big Cat. But they give you this dinky little cup.
Yeah, those cups are brutal. They're brutal.
No top on it. Again, you never get your tray. So you're pounding this scorching hot coffee or you're spilling it all over your pants. Hit the store before in the terminal and you get a little to-go cup. Or you could go to a big place, but I just go to the little store. I get the little to-go cup with the top. I bring that on the plane myself. The girl comes by with the coffee. I stick my cup out there. She fills it to the top, so I get a big one, and then I put the cap on. Boom.
Lunatic travel tip guy.
There we go. So that was. I thought those are two good little ones. My wife came up with them. I'm stealing them. So I just putting a little travel tips out there. That's 3 of them. I might do a whole series on them. I'll have to put them all together in a blog or something one of these days.
Yeah, you should. You're a blog guy. You know how to do that. You know how to rip this. Keeping the people safe. We got the Beer League Heroes. We got messages for everyone. Huge travel tip for the parents out there by Merles just now. We need that stuff
on the airplanes. 9 hours. This flight took because there was a volcano erupted in Iceland and we had to fly around it.
Wow. Dylan in the chat says the coffee tip is actually elite. An elite coffee tip right there from Dylan, he says. So people are, take this to the bank, people. We're not screwing around. Veteran traveler. Veteran.
Oh, veteran. All right, that wraps it up. Thank you to the chat. They were elite. The chat was elite, Dylan. Yep. You were elite today.
Chat was absolutely elite. Shout out Body Armor right there. Flash IV. Get it in.
Dummied the other one. Dummied the other one. It's so easy to drink.
So hydrated. Great. Unbelievable. Reminder about our Game Notes socials on X, Game Notes Bud on Instagram at Game Notes. And you can find all our audio on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. And click auto downloads, help the boys out. Click the bell, hit the hearts, hit the reminders, do all the stuff. We love it.
Do all that stuff. Pump it up. Share with your friends. Tell you, grab your parents' phones. Download it on their phones. Download it on your buddies' phones. Game Notes next week. Same time, same place, Friday. But we'll be in St. Louis. We'll be together. We will recap both games. We'll recap our night out. Who knows where we'll end up. We're jumping bandwagon, so we could end up with any of the teams. We could end up with any of the players on our show, hopefully Friday, or coaches or great alumni. And then we will set up the national championship game, which Saturday night's going to be incredible. We'll have a Pink Whitney party Saturday before the game. We'll let you know in a little bit where that will be and exact times, but it will be for the game on Saturday in St. Louis. We'll be around all weekend. I'm getting in Wednesday night. I'm not leaving till Monday. I'm going in. I'm going for this. I'm going to sweep the weekend again. There's a little casino in town. Don't be afraid to see me there playing craps either.
Yeah, come say hi to the Game Notes boys. We'll be kicking around in St. Louis, everybody. Have a great weekend as you plan to get out there to St. Louis. We'll be boots on the ground. We love everybody.